Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. In today's video we have this 2022 Subaru WRX and we're going to do a headlight tint installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how it looks before doing the installation on the headlights. It's just your regular factory headlight lens. And this is how it looks after the installation. So the tint has PPF properties, which means it will protect the lenses from yellowing over time, as well as protect it from any small scratches or any road debris that might hit the lens. If you like the product, link for the product will be down below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. So the tools you need in order to install the tint kit will be Slip Solution, Tack Solution, a heat gun, squeegee, and a microfiber towel. And a step-by-step guide in order to create the two solutions will be in the description below. So before starting with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the headlights. So to prep them, all you need to do is apply Slip Solution onto the headlight lens. And with the clean microfiber towel, start removing any contaminants that the headlight may have. So when it comes to installing the tints for the headlights for this 2022 Subaru WRX, it is a 3-piece installation. The reason why we did a 3-piece install is just so it could be easier for the installation, because if the film was a 1-piece install, it would be difficult to stretch the film around this section of the curve of the headlight because a lot of fingers will bunch up here. We made it where you don't need to stretch the film on the curved section here of the headlight, so it's just more of placing, tacking down, and laying the film on each section. So to start off with this one, we're starting out with the front piece. So just apply Slip Solution onto the lens and Slip Solution to the tint film and just align it to this section here. So just make sure it aligns and that should be good. Now all we need to do now is apply Tack Solution underneath and on top of the film, but make sure to keep it aligned. Hold it in position and grab your squeegee and tack it down. So what we're doing is trying to secure this whole piece first and just bring the film up and tack it down. To make things easier, you can also apply Tack Solution on this edge here. That way the film starts tacking down more faster. So now that we've finished tacking down most of the film, before we move on with the next install, we need to make sure that the whole entire film on the edges is tacked down and sealed and not lifting, because if we leave it like this and when we install the other 2 pieces, the film is just going to lift and damage the other 2 that we're going to install. So you need to make sure everything's tacked down, we seal it first, and then we move on to the next piece. So to seal the tint, apply Tack Solution on the edges of the tint. You're going to use your heat gun, apply heat all over the edges. And we're going to use our microfiber towel to help tack down the film around the curve and on the top section of the film. And also our microfiber towel will help remove any solution that's underneath the film as well. So just take your time, make sure you seal everything, and then once you're done sealing the first piece of the film, then you can move on with the next install. Also, something to keep in mind, the tint doesn't go all the way inside to cover the inside lens. The reason being is because this piece of the bumper is in the way, so it only covers up to where the flat area of the tint is located. Okay, and before we move on, pass your finger and just check and see if your finger is catching the film. If it's not, then that means that the film is properly secured. So as you can see, the film's not lifting. So now we can move on with the next piece, which is this section of the headlight here. Okay, so now we're moving on to this section of the headlight. So to start, apply Slip Solution onto the lens and Slip Solution onto the tint. And with this one, you want to align it right on the top edge here first. So make sure it's right on the edge and you have it aligned on the bottom section here. All we need to do now is secure the film to this position here. So apply Tack Solution. Once you apply it, use your finger, mold the tint to this small curve here. So just help it tack down. Now that we helped it tack down just a little bit, we will grab our squeegee and start tacking down the rest of the film. So we just want to secure it, that way it doesn't move when we do this small stretch here, in order for the film to meet or overlap, either or, depending on how you go about it, to this section here to cover the clear part. So we just need a good amount to be secured. And now that this section is secured, all we need to do now is stretch the film up until it overlaps just a little bit, or we're up to where it meets it right on the edge. So you could leave it like this. It's barely overlapping the film. Just make sure you're covering the whole section. And to seal it, just apply Tack Solution and tack the whole film down. And just be careful, take your time, and remove all the solution that's behind the film. And now we're just going to do the same thing that we did in the front. We're going to seal all the edge before we finish off installing this piece here. That way we avoid having the film to lift over time. So to seal the film, apply tack solution all over the edges, and we're going to apply heat all around. And then after we apply heat, we're going to use our microfiber towel to help tack down the film. And you just rinse and repeat the same steps that we did here to this piece. Okay, and before we move on to the next piece, just pass your finger around the edges to double check and see if the film is tacked down properly. If your finger's not catching the film, then that means that the whole tint is tacked down and it's not lifting. So you just rinse and repeat until you seal everything. And once it's sealed, we can move on to the last piece, which covers this top section here. Okay, so for this last piece, all we need to do is apply slip solution to the lens and slip solution to the tint film, and just place the film right in the middle here, and everything else should just fall into place. The only thing we need to make sure is to tuck in the film underneath the hood here. So just tuck it in inside, and that should be good. So remember, keep in mind, it's not covering the inside of this section here because of the bumper. It's in the way and we can't work inside here. So that's the only thing with this one here. So you are going to have a little clear on the lens on this section. But other than that, just make sure everything's aligned. Okay, now that we have this section aligned, all we need to do now is apply tack solution, hold it in position, and with our squeegee start tacking it out to secure it to this top piece here. And just take your time when you're doing this, since it is a small area to work with. You need to make sure everything stays tacked down. And if you need help tacking it down more faster, you can always apply heat to help the adhesive on the film activate faster, and it tacks down to the headlight. And make sure to remove all the solution behind the film. Okay, and now all we need to do is just make sure we apply tack solution and apply heat to seal the edges here, because if you notice, it is still lifting. So we need to make sure we seal it in order to help the film tack down and avoid it from lifting over time. So just apply tack solution, apply heat, and same steps, use your microfiber towel to seal the edges. And you just rinse and repeat until you're done with this step. Okay, and that's pretty much it. And now just pass your finger to see if the film is still lifting. If it's not lifting, then you should be good to go. But you just rinse and repeat until you're done with this installation. And now once we're done, we can move on to the last step, which is post heating the entire film to help it tack down more faster to the headlight. So the last thing to do once you finish with the whole installation is to post heat the entire kit. So to post heat, all you need to do is apply tack solution all around the film. And we're just going to take our time in applying heat all over the edges of the film, especially where we overlap with the other films. So just make sure, apply a good amount of heat, make sure everything stays sealed, there's no film lifting, and just use your microfiber towel to help remove any solution that's behind the film. And after you're done with this step, you're done with the installation. Thank you for choosing Bogar Tech Design. As a small business, your support means everything to us. If you loved your product, please drop a review. If you have questions or issues, don't forget to message us via email. Once again, thank you so much for the support from our family to yours. Okay, so that concludes the installation video for the headlight tints for the 2022 Subaru WRX. We hope that this video helped you guys out with the installation. If it did, don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you in the next one.